You're listening to the Call Kent podcast, where Kent C. Dodds answers questions and gives insights to software engineers like you. Now, let's hear the call.
Hi, how you doing, Kent? My name is Mukwende from Africa, Zambia. I wanted to find out what is the minimum that one needs to learn in order for them to land an entry-level front-end developer job. Like, what is the minimum? Do they need to know stuff like tooling? Do they need to be great at version control, testing, and all these other stuff, or they just have to be good at the basic HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and probably a front-end framework? What is the minimum that one needs to learn for a front-end developer job, entry level? Thank you.
And that was the call. Here's what Kent had to say.
Hey there, Mukwende. Thank you so much for the question. This is a really difficult one to answer because it's going to vary widely based on the job that you're going to get, the employer, what they care about, the interviewer, and how they interview you. So, to answer your question, I would say the minimum skill set for a front-end job is the minimum amount that somebody will hire you for, which is not a very helpful answer. But really, there is no, in the software industry, especially in front end, there's no standard for how much experience or how much skill you need to have to be effective or to be hireable. The thing that I would say is you just keep on developing your skills until you get a job, and then you continue on from there to develop skills. So I think what's less, so first of all, maybe this question is coming out of a desire to make sure that you're you don't start looking for a job until you have reached a certain level of skill. And to that, I would say, don't wait. Start interviewing as soon as you can, and as soon as you see that there are people hiring for some of the skills that you have. And keep in mind that a lot of the job requirements are actually made or written out by recruiters or people who just don't really understand the requirements of the company. And so I don't think you need to see the job requirements and be like, oh man, there are like 12 things on here that I don't know anything about. Just because there are some things on there that you don't have experience with does not mean you will be rejected if you go there. And, if you are, so what? You're right back in the same place you were before, except now you have experience interviewing. So that I think is fine. So yeah, don't wait until you reach a certain level of skill. Within reason, of course, like you should probably know how to type and that sort of thing. But as far as where do you prioritize your time and while you're looking for work and developing your skills as a front end developer, that I think really comes down to the things that you're personally interested in, because you'll be a lot more effective at working on the skills of things that you're personally interested in than not. I definitely think that having and I guess also it's important to recognize that if your goal really is to get a job, then look at the different job openings in your area or at companies that you want to work at and see the things that are really common across all of them and start learning those things first. So I would say having a surface understanding of most of the tools of the trade would be a really good idea to spend time across all of them. So HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and also version control, as you mentioned, that would be a good thing. testing, I would like to say that that's a really necessary thing, but a lot of like if your goal is just to get a job, a lot of places don't really care too much about that anyway. But it can be a differentiator for you. So if you find it interesting, then that can be really useful. TypeScript is becoming a lot more popular. Most of the time when I'm visiting, giving workshops and stuff, pretty much everybody there is using TypeScript. I only teach in TypeScript. So yeah, probably another good one to know. But again, you don't have to limit yourself to having to know all of this stuff before you can start interviewing. The best thing that you can do to start developing these skills is by actually building stuff. So come up with ideas of things that you can put together to develop this level of experience, and you will naturally learn the right amount of each one of these things for being interesting for a potential employer. So I hope that's helpful. I wish you the very best of luck in your endeavors, and I hope you have a nice day. Bye.
This has been the Call Kent podcast. Learn more about Kent at kentcdodds.com and get your own questions answered at kentcdodds.com/calls.